Hey there, this is Matt with a review for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the fourth installment in the chronological Ghostbusters franchise, and one that people seem to have been kind of cool on. And I don't really know where that cool off is coming from. I quite enjoyed this movie. I think it's maybe not the strongest entry, but it had a certain return to form that I appreciated this time around. It leans into or remembers that it is a comedy franchise much more so than Afterlife did, even though that is admittedly a better movie. Though it does kind of cater to a more horror vibe. This one is the first Ghostbusters movie, pretty much since the original one, that is full-on spooky. However, that first Ghostbusters movie undercut the horror elements with quite a lot of comedy. This one doesn't have as much, but when it gets scary and intense, it is damn scary and intense, and you don't really know what's going to happen to some of these characters and stuff. The safety net didn't seem to be there as it was in the first movie. That said, this is also the first movie since that original installment that leans in to making it a full-on spectacle. This is a big movie and an expensive movie, and it looks it. The spectacle of the film really works to the film's benefit. That said, the movie didn't make nearly as much money as it needed to prove to be successful, and I think that's going to harm the film and franchise moving forward. But this film utilizes the characters established from Afterlife, the new characters, quite well, and we get to really know Phoebe. Wolfhard gets a little bit more time. I thought he was rather underdeveloped in the previous movie. He is made much more center-focused and likable in this movie. But really, Phoebe is where it's at. Also, Ray Stantz gets a beefed-up role from the old crew, and they do some decent work with the old crew. Some of them you feel like are just there for the sake of being there. Venkman kind of falls into that. But everybody sort of brings their A game, and it is a good film. It's not as emotionally resonant as Afterlife was, and it's not as funny as the first movie, but I feel like this lands in the territory of Ghostbusters 2, which is a movie that I don't think is nearly as bad as its reputation. And if you liked Ghostbusters 2, I think you're really going to like this movie. It caters to more of that vibe, which is to say that it feels a little less like Ghostbusters and a little more like the real Ghostbusters, the animated show from the 80s. So if you liked that, I think you're really going to like this movie, is ultimately where I land on it. But I think it's a 3-star film. I enjoyed this film. I don't know why it didn't seem to get any kind of embrace from the critical community. Outside of it does feel like Ghostbusters 2, and the critics also didn't like that movie particularly either. That said, I enjoyed it, and I'd like to hear what you have to say. What did you think of Ghostbusters Forever After, or whatever they're calling it, Frozen Empire? Let me know in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Peace.